Hello, my name is Raffaela and I'm going to be doing my first CAS Reflection video. My first video will be about participating on the Worcester High School tennis team and the many things that I learned while participating on this team. I spent all 4 years of my high school, freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year on the team, but I will be mostly focusing on my junior and senior year from when my CAS hours counted and from when I started the IB program. Between my junior and my senior year, I completed 113.25 hours of action through the Worcester High School tennis team. The girls' team had some ups and downs, definitely, while I was on the team, and it wasn't always easy to stay motivated, but through teamwork and through really getting to know the other girls on the team very well, we always pulled through and we were always able to really stick together and to get through the tougher times. I completed 6 CAS outcomes through the Worcester High School tennis team. The first one was increased awareness of your strengths and areas for growth. This was mainly thanks to my coaches, who really made me aware of what I was good at and what I needed to focus on and where I needed to grow. For example, this year I was on full varsity for the tennis team. I played, all 3 singles positions, first, second, and third. And my coach helped me to realize that I had the problem of mostly staying in the middle of the court, and I really played the middle third of the court, and it was difficult for me to come out of my comfort zone and move left, right, but I really grew on with that, and my coach helped me a lot, and that was the main thing. The other thing that I really grew with this year, my senior year, was coming up to the net and volleying and being a lot more comfortable with that. And I saw a huge improvement, even with pictures that my parents took from the beginning of the season and then at the end of the season. You could see that by the end of the season I was comfortable coming up to the net. I was comfortable really spiking volleys and hitting aces, and I just felt a lot better about that. He also helped me realize that my main strengths were making the other player run rather than making me run. I'm not the most, I certainly wasn't the most athletic person on the team. However, by keeping my opponent moving back and forth, I was able to combat that and really do very well. My second CAS outcome was undertaking new challenges. This was because of the many injuries that occurred this year on our team, and I started the season as third singles, and I did well in that. However, when our top 2 became rather injured, I first moved up to second singles and had some trouble with that, and then I eventually had to be first singles. So the number 1 player on the team was me for a while, and there was a lot of pressure that went with that, and it wasn't easy. There were certainly times that I felt overwhelmed and I felt that I had no chance. And there was one match in particular where I lost horribly. However, my opponent was 5th or 6th in the state, so although I felt terrible about myself, I still got to play with someone who was that high up in the state, which is a pretty great thing to be able to say. And then my last match of the season before I myself became injured was against Mansfield Senior, and it was as first singles, and I won that match, and it was an incredible feeling to win as number 1 on our team. I battled. It was a very difficult match, but I battled through to the end, and in the tiebreaker I ended up winning, and that definitely helped my confidence a lot. My opponent was extremely gracious and kind, and that really helped me to feel good too. There wasn't a huge amount of adversity between us. We were competing, of course, but we weren't. We were definitely still enjoying the game and having fun at the same time. Thirdly, working collaboratively with others was an outcome that I achieved, and I did this through, well, I was one of the oldest on the team. There were only 3 seniors, and being one of those seniors, I felt that I really had to make a good impression on the younger girls, and I had to be someone who they could look up to and someone who they knew would be there for them, and if they had any trouble they could come to. And I really felt like I accomplished that. The younger girls did come up to me a few times asking for help, asking for advice, troubles between the team members, and we solved them, and really it was a very drama-free season, which was extremely nice. From a group of teenage girls, we had a great time, and that was what was important. Fourth, show perseverance and commitment. It was I achieved this mainly because of how difficult it was to come to terms with all the injuries that were going on. I mean, there were girls with elbow problems and then very serious back problems, and the flu was going around. So it was difficult to really, well, at times it was difficult to persevere, but really to keep going, not to give up. But at one point, I was the only senior who wasn't injured, and I needed to be able to really lead the team, I guess. And through that, I had to show perseverance, and I did. I made it through all of the troubles and the problems with getting bumped up and having to perform at a different level that I wasn't necessarily used to, and really committing to the team and realizing that even if I myself was annoyed or stressed with what was going on, it was best for the team that just I just do it. I just do what they really need me to do. Fifth, develop new skills. This really goes back to my first one, with my coach helping me with my areas for growth. I immensely improved my volleying technique. I immensely improved my technique using the entire court other than just the middle third. My serve became much more competitive, and I double faulted, I think, 2 or 3 times during the season, and that was mostly due to stress. I knew that I could get the ball in, and if I focused and I was playing the ball rather than the opponent, which is something my coach taught me, my private coach taught me, and it helped a lot. Next, consider ethical implications. With tennis, of course, in high school, there are no line judges unless they get called. So there's a lot of room for players to not necessarily be ethical and not necessarily be honest. However, I pride myself on our team being extremely honest and extremely ethical when it comes to line calls. We don't cheat. We know what it would do to us and our morale if another team did that to us, and other teams have done that to us, and we know what that did to our own morale. So we make a point of saying that's not acceptable on this team, and we're honest. We make good calls, and we want to be known for that. We're ethical through our playing. No matter what happens, we believe that ethical playing is the most important. Now, the main thing that I perceived throughout the last 2 years of the team is how closely knit our team is able to become if we let it. And my freshman and sophomore years on the team, there was a very distinct split between varsity and junior varsity. And in my junior and senior years, there really wasn't one. We in my junior year, our captains decided to, well, freshman and sophomore years, JV and varsity had different uniforms. And in my junior year, our captains decided that that was bad for morale, and we wanted to all have the same uniforms, which many schools do. Well, most schools do. And that helped a lot. We all went in as a team. We weren't separated. And I really noticed that that was different. And also being involved in that huge morale booster and in this team building felt incredible. I love being around the girls, and I love competing with them, and the atmosphere is just really great to be in. There's a lot of positivity. We don't let negativity come in, and if it does come in somehow, we work together to try to solve that. The activity itself, tennis, is something I love to do. I was injured at the end of my season. I missed the big OCC tournament, and then also our local tournaments, and that was not so great. I really wish I could have competed in them, but I never felt any negativity from the girls, any anger directed towards me. It was complete understanding throughout the whole thing. And although I just now got cleared for playing again from my doctors, and it's been 4 months almost, well, 3.5. It's been a long ride, but I love tennis in itself, and I can't wait to get back on the court and play with my friends and compete and move forward and get back to where I was. And I'm not the most athletic person in the world, so to have found tennis and to have found this activity, that's really a blast for me, and it's a great thing to do, and a great way for me to get involved with more things in the school, and more people throughout the school is really important. And I guess the main thing that I learned from joining the Worcester High School tennis team is to never give up. It sounds cliche, but it's a very important lesson. And although our record this year wasn't the best, we didn't give up. We persevered. We knew that it was going to be a tough year going in because we lost some great players the year before who had graduated. But we didn't stop. We didn't give up. We just kept competing and kept fighting, and we knew whatever happened, happened, and there would still be our team no matter if we lost horribly or if we won. We would still have each other, and we would still have that team feeling and that important bond. Thank you.